So you're telling me you're frustrated about your impairment rating?
Yeah, I really am. It's just not making sense to me. The rating came back way lower than what I feel I'm actually dealing with. I want to understand why there's such a big gap between my daily struggles and the number they gave me.
Absolutely. Let's talk through this so I can understand why there might be confusion about impairment ratings. They can seem disconnected from your daily experience. So the rating system uses specific guidelines from the American Medical Association, which measures impairment different than disability or how it affects your specific life. Does that make sense?
I guess I'm starting to see what you mean, but it's just hard. I'm living with this every day, and it feels bigger than some number on a chart. Could you walk me through how they actually come up with that number? That might help me understand.
Of course. So the AMA guides, they use objective measurements, things like range of motion, strength testing, and diagnostic findings. And for your shoulder injury, we measure that you have 120 degrees of forward flexion compared to normal, and that translates to a specific percentage. But you're right that this doesn't capture everything. It's the medical impairment, not your functional disability.
Okay, so you're saying the rating comes from those measurements, like how much I can move and how strong it is. But I'm still wondering, what about the pain I'm feeling every time I do that? Doesn't that factor in at all?
Yeah, that's a really important question, and pain does get considered, but differently than most people expect. So your pain is absolutely real and significant, and it's just that the impairment rating captures it indirectly. This conversation, I can show you the exact table we used.
I see. So pain gets factored in, but only if it's really documented and leads to some measurable loss. It's more technical and scientific than I expected. But doesn't my job matter? A shoulder impairment might affect a construction worker way more than someone with a desk job, right?
And yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's why impairment and disability are different things. The impairment rating is the same for everyone with identical medical findings, but disability, how it affects your ability to work, it varies greatly. And that's addressed separately through work capacity evaluations and patient assessments. So your work restrictions and potential wage loss, they're calculated differently.
Oh, so that's handled separately through work restrictions and vocational assessments. That actually makes more sense now. So the impairment rating is just the medical part, not the whole picture of how it affects my life and work.
Exactly, you've got it now. Think of impairment as the medical piece of the puzzle, what's physically changed in your body. Disability is how the change affects your ability to work and live. Quality of life impacts, vocational limitations, and wage loss are all separate considerations that build on top of this medical foundation. And your frustration came from expecting one number to capture everything, but that's just what it is. It's a number, and it's not your life experience.
You know what? This is starting to click for me. The rating isn't saying my problems aren't real. It's just one piece of a bigger puzzle. I guess I was expecting it to capture everything I'm going through, but it sounds like there are other ways those things get documented.